Around 25 years ago, I ruined nonstick cookware following the recipes given on a popular website. I did not know this would make them stickware. What an expensive mistake. Hello and welcome to Jackson's Job. Spoiler alert, these pans make donut-shaped muffins, not real donuts, utilizing cooking and baking sprays on nonstick surfaces. These sprays were meant for surfaces that were not treated with nonstick coatings and to save on fat and calories. These were all the rage in the 90s when many ate fat-free. Most of the people owned stainless steel or aluminum type pans, and it wasn't an issue. Here is a real-life example of what could happen to your cookware. These two pans were purchased as a set. The one on the left has been solely used with nonstick sprays. The one on the right has had either parchment paper or oil only. They were both washed the same way over the past several months with soap and water. Can you see the difference? So what essentially happens? A thin film adheres to the cookware. This film can permanently bond to the structure of the nonstick coating, making the surfaces essentially sticky and doing the exact opposite of what you want. This is often called seasoning in cookware that isn't nonstick and can be desired, but for nonstick surfaces it's just a matter of time before your pan is ruined. Whereas these cooking sprays can also damage cookware without a nonstick coating, as you see here, it's much easier to spot and remove before it becomes a problem. Many companies that manufacture these products will clearly state using cooking spray will void the warranty they offer. But why are recipes today still giving you instructions to spray your nonstick cookware with cooking and baking sprays? Perhaps some of these sites focus on ad revenue over content. They often have plenty of money to throw away a pan when they ruin it after a short amount of time without investigating it. I honestly do not know why. So do we have to stop using these products altogether? Not when properly utilized and cleaned well between uses. Well, unless you don't want to use them for health and moral reasons. That's another topic I tend to avoid because of very strong opinions. But let's say you want to use this on a stainless steel pan. It's perfectly fine. I'm going to fry up some eggs and come back and show you how to clean the spray off so you don't end up with the brown and sticky film on your surface over time. So I washed this pan with soap and water, and you can see on the edges there are some dull spots. If you were to run your finger over it, you'd feel a slight tacky feeling. At first glance this looks clean, but when you shine it into the light you can really see where it needs more work. I use 3 things to get this removed: vinegar, baking soda, and salt. I like to start out with baking soda and just a touch of vinegar as it's less abrasive than salt. I add just enough vinegar to get the cloth or paper towel wet and start scrubbing lightly on the areas. I do not use a sponge as greasy residue will come off and get stuck on it and makes it hard to do other dishes. I only add as much force as needed to remove the grime. Salt and baking soda are abrasive, so they can put little micro scratches on your surface if you apply too much force. It is not a problem for these old stainless steel pans, but you may want to baby your new ones for a little longer, so be gentle. This looks really good, so I'm going to wash and dry it again and check the pan in the light. See, there are a few more areas. At this point, I'm going to bring out the salt and do a little more scrubbing. You could stick with the baking soda and vinegar if you don't mind working a bit harder with your elbow grease, but I'm not going to. After a short amount of time, this looks much better. One more wash and we are good to go. No more sticky residue. One place to also check for buildup is by the rivets. If you see any problems here, take time to fix it before you heat up your pan again. It is heating up this film that forms over time that tends to be what ultimately ruins your cookware. I hope this information was helpful to you all. Next time, I plan to show you how to grease and flour a pan regardless of any type of coating without needing butter. Then we will start experimenting with this donut pan and see if we can come up with something tasty. At least something better than donut-shaped muffins. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy baking.